Let's go, pal.
Hello fellow legends, Dabster Plays here with more Fallout content for you guys. Today we're gonna get into another theory video about the Enclave. I was originally not gonna go any deeper into the Enclave after my last video about it, but someone in the comments section suggested his take on the return of the Enclave, and as I looked into it, I realized the great amount of detail put into this theory. Credit to Chase-Moser Smith for the theory. He not only told me his theory, but he pointed out several directions to get started looking into it. So many thanks for that, Chase. Before we go into this theory, I want to say that if you have a theory or a subject in Fallout that you want me to look into, feel free to comment the request in the comments below. It not only interests me, but also helps me to get ideas for videos. The theory is, what if the Enclave comes back to Appalachia to fight the Remnant of the Chinese Communists? I know this sounds kind of unlikely at first, and I wasn't even sure about it either, honestly, at first. But that was before I looked into it. Let's look into the evidence and lore, because there's actually a noticeable amount of lore for this. Okay, so most of us know Fallout 76 is a prequel to the other games. The first Fallout takes place in 2161. Fallout 76 takes place in 2102. That's 59 years apart, I believe. This is important to take into consideration because this means that the events of Fallout 2 haven't even taken place yet, and the Enclave hasn't developed the purified wasteland mindset that they're well known for in Fallout 2 and 3 just yet. That starts in events right before Fallout 2. I just wanted to let you guys know that and remind you that, as most of us know, the result of the Great War was the total destruction of the old world by nuclear bombs on October 23rd, 2077. Some US government members were supposed to go into the congressional bunker in White Springs. However, some didn't make it due to the fact that they were either taken off the list for unknown reasons or because they didn't take the alarm serious fast enough. The Congress members who made it and weren't part of the Enclave were executed by automated turrets. Here we get into the important information for the theory. The surviving members were put to vote for Thomas Eckhart, the Secretary of Agriculture, as president. His plan was to finish the war against China, and anyone who voted against him was executed, leaving only 48 members left. So as you can imagine, he became the president of the Appalachian Enclave. Once Eckhart became the self-proclaimed president of the Enclave, he rededicated his branch of the Enclave to the eradication of communism. This is the point I'm trying to make, and this is where it ties in with the theory. This shows that there is a possibility that the Enclave could come back to fight the Chinese communists, because Eckhart dedicated himself to trying to destroy the communists. He dedicated himself to literally finishing the war with China, even though, the world ended. But let's go on. Since the last contact to the other Enclave bases, such as the Rig in Raven Rock, Eckhart proclaimed himself president of the Appalachian Enclave. He then went forward with his plan to eradicate the remaining Chinese communists. He had a plan to use nuclear silos of Appalachia to ensure China's destruction. Yeah, I know, he went all in for this. However, he had a problem. Due to the automated systems of the nuclear silos, he had to prove that Appalachia is in enough danger to use these nuclear silos. This is where his plan goes pretty crazy. He made several attempts to go into DEFCON 1 and activate the missile silos, like making Liberator robots go around the wasteland, and even creating Scorch Beasts, and this is actually what started the whole Scorch Plague in Fallout 76. However, eventually plans go whack, and a plan to destroy the AI backup to run the system, which is called Modus, got everyone in the Appalachian Enclave killed because the AI, Modus, saw it as a threat and it literally killed everyone in the Enclave. And that's why everyone was dead whenever you find the Enclave in Fallout 76. I can go deeper into the Enclave's lore in another video, but right now I'm just trying to make a point and show the evidence of this theory. So let's go on. With all this said, I don't think it's out of the question to say that the Enclave could come back to the Appalachia because they want to finish the fight with Chinese communists. I mean, it was the Appalachian Enclave's plan from the start. Another thing is that in the Wastelanders expansion of the Settlers storyline, specifically in the Invisible Ties quest, you go into a place called the Deep. And here is some background footage of it if you don't know what it is. This place is a secret underground Chinese communist base. Yes, you heard me right. There's a Chinese communist base underneath White Springs, which is crazy. I was so shocked when I first found it playing Wastelanders. But anyways, this base is filled with living, but ghoulified, communist soldiers. This means that the communists aren't killed off just yet. This is because they stayed in these underground tunnels and bases when the bombs dropped. The reasoning of the communists being here is because they made plans to steal a motherlode, which is practically a humongous automated drill. And remember, the reason that the communists got into war with the US in the first place was because of a shortage in resources. So of course they're gonna want to drill like that. This remnant of the communists was underground when the bombs dropped and they haven't been able to leave since. And that's why they're still there when you find them in Wastelanders. The Chinese communists were also hiding in a place called Mama Dolce's food processing plant, which you can find in Fallout 76, but there are also other Mama Dolce's plants all across the country. And with that said, I found out by a video by NerdZ that there is also a Mama Dolce's in Fallout 3 and you can find a communist ghoul there, which kind of proves my point that they're still there in the US soil. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below, by the way, if you ever want to check it out. And if you're worried if this isn't true, I confirmed its validity by looking at the wiki for Fallout. But anyways, the Appalachian Enclave found out that the communists were hiding in Mama Dolce's, so whenever they found them, they destroyed them, literally. And it may be worth mentioning that the Chinese Remnant hides in other Mama Dolce plants throughout the country. For example, you can find some communist schools in Mama Dolce's plant in Fallout 3, like I said. The point I'm trying to make with all this is that the communist remnant is still in Appalachia. There's still a chance that the Enclave soldiers could come back to Appalachia and find their soldiers dead in an attempt to finish off the Chinese communists. And they could decide to finish their mission and go to war with communists. It's possible. You can't deny it. So let's go to my final thoughts. I personally think that after looking into the lore for this theory, that there's definitely a chance that this could be true and may happen. However, I feel like because they have been focusing on the Brotherhood a lot lately, with Steel Dawn and even soon Steel Rain, the Enclave will probably fight the Brotherhood ultimately. If they were to come back to the Appalachia, of course. And we would either have to fight with the Brotherhood or be able to choose between the Brotherhood and the Enclave, which would be cool in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about the possibility of this theory in the comments below. I read and enjoy all your comments, so feel free to comment your thoughts and your theories. Also, I think I'm gonna make a lore video about the Enclave, because as I was reading the Enclave lore, I found it very interesting, and I had to leave a decent amount out to focus on the theory. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I did your theory justice, Chase. Thanks again for sharing it too, and I want to remind you guys, if you guys have theories you want me to check out, please leave them in the comments below, because I enjoy doing this kind of stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, leave a like to support me, and if you want to take it a step further, subscribe and hit the notification bells for future updates on new content. Thanks for watching, and God bless.